Hello and welcome to Football Manager 2019. This is my first ever episode on Football Manager 2019. This is obviously in the beta. I'm going to be in charge of Southampton, and I've already done 2 little test saves with Southampton, and both of them I've been sacked before Christmas, so this is probably going to be a very short-lived save. Now, I know there is going to be a lot of Football Manager 2019 content out right now, and that's obviously because the beta has just been released. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do something a little bit different to what everyone else is doing. Most people will be showing you all the new features, the training features, I can't remember, the new tactics, stuff like that. I'm obviously going to have to do these things, but I'm not really going to focus the videos on them, because if you want to know how to do them properly, I'm not going to be the place to do it. The training, I will 100% tell you now, going to be mostly automated. Bar individual training, I'm going to sort that out for my players specifically, but team training, I don't get it, I don't understand it, so I'm not really going to touch it. In my little test saves with Southampton, there are a couple of things that I noticed. They're not very good, and one of the reasons why they're not very good, and I will show you now, if we go team report and we go stats, I think, nope, facts, nope, squad depth, how do we find it? Comparison, there we go. And we go mental. Some of these things are pretty low. Composure, pretty low. Concentration, pretty low. What's this here? Flair, don't care too much about that. Off the ball, pretty low. Mentally, we're not a great team. So I think some work will need to be done in the recruitment department to actually get some slightly better footballers. Or not even footballers, just better thinkers involved. Technically as well, if you, let's ignore the goalkeepers, because that's obviously going to throw some things off. If you look at this here, dribbling, we are one of the worst teams in the league at dribbling. So it means either we need to buy some people who are capable of it, or tell people to not run with the ball and make sure we pass it. Problem is, we're also one of the worst teams at passing. So, how do we deal with this? We can't run with the ball and we can't kick it. 2 quite key things when it comes to football. Weirdly, I think defensively we're actually okay. So this is our stats for our defenders. I mean, heading is a little bit of a concern, but when you look at the worst heading is Manchester United, I think we'll probably be okay. I mean, everything's about average, just slightly above average in most, a couple of them are below average. So defence, I'm actually okay with. So for the midfield stats, obviously it highlights the most important ones. We're not too bad. We've got some very good players. Decisions is below average, is well below average. So maybe we need better thinkers. I keep saying this, we need better thinkers in our team. We also need better passers. Although midfield, our passing isn't terrible. It's actually above average in midfield. But I think we probably need someone in the middle to kind of pull the strings. Basically, I want to re-sign Morgan Schneiderlin, but I don't think I'll be allowed to. And finally then, attackers. We are just about above average on, we're above average on 4 and below average on 4. Speed is a big problem for our strikers, so I think that probably means Route 1 and counter-attack in football isn't going to work. We need to start trying to dominate games, or we invest in some new strikers. If we get some new strikers who can actually run, then maybe we need to revert to the counter-attacking game. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Anyway, now that's out of the way, let's get into the usual Football Manager stuff. We know what we need to do, we know what we need to buy, we need to sort out a tactic, and then we're going to delve into the transfer market. So even though I've already done 2 saves with Southampton already, 2 very brief, quick saves, haven't actually read this, so philosophies is kind of the main thing that I'm looking at. Play possession football, play attacking football, sign young players and develop young players. I mean, that's kind of what I want to be doing anyway. The possession thing is something that we need to work on, and I think that does involve probably investing heavily in midfielders. Maybe we need to pack the midfield, maybe we go with a diamond. I haven't tried a diamond. Maybe that's what we go with. Transfer obligations. So, obviously, this now shows all the current transfers that happened in the last transfer window. So, Danny Ings, he's a future transfer. It's going to cost £18 million. Vestergaard, who I think is very good on this game. Vestergaard's a very good signing. Angus Gunn, another one, very good signing. Al-Yunusi, not so much. Stuart Armstrong as well. In my experience with him, he gets annoyed because he doesn't play first-team football all the time, despite the fact that he's marked as a rotation player and shouldn't be playing first-team football all the time. A lot of players as well have gone out on loan. Carrillo, Reed, McQueen, Sims, Classy, Buffal, Seeger, Hesketh, Flanagan, Jones and Kingsley Latham. There will be more players joining him out on loan. There will also be players leaving because Nathan Redmond annoys me. Right, I'm going to sort out my tactic. And I'm not going to go through it with you. I'm just going to kind of do stuff off camera, and then come back once a tactic is in place, and that's what we're going to go for. So, what I'm going to go with, I'm using the preset tactics. I'm not going to change them too much. I might tweak them slightly, but at the moment these are currently just set to the presets. I've got two set up. First up is the custom vertical tiki-taka. I don't know why it's custom. I haven't changed anything. So this is going to go with a 4-4-2 diamond narrow. See, I've now got a plan. So my wingers that I have, Nathan Redmond and El Yunusi, probably not really needed anymore. So it's 4-4-2 basically, with three kind of central midfielders, an attacking midfielder, two strikers, and then if we go to the second one, it is the Gegenpress, I'm not sure how to say it, similar formation, 4-4-2 diamond. Instead of a regista, we have a defensive midfielder, we've got an advanced playmaker, a pressing forward, which is one of the new roles, and a complete forward as well. And this is possibly going to be my default starting lineup. I'm going to change it because, you'll notice there, I mean, there's only one player fully capable of playing that position, which is Mario Lemina as the box-to-box midfielder. Ward-Prowse isn't too far away, Gabbiadini's not too far away, Armstrong's not too far away. The defence I'm reasonably happy with. I might actually change these to be wing-backs on support rather than complete wing-backs, because they're a little bit better at that. But this role here, the role currently filled by Oriol Romeu, probably need to find a new regista. Also, if you switch over to the Gegenpress, I need to learn how to say that. Again, everyone's kind of similar. I'm going to change you to wing-backs on attack, and you can be normal wing-back on attack, just to kind of make it a little bit more realistic. Again, everyone kind of fits their role. This one was slightly better, although Lemina doesn't really fit as the Carrilero role. I've just spent a few minutes just looking on the old transfer market, not even the transfer market, to player scouting, try and find myself a regista. They don't exist. There's not a huge amount of registas that actually want to play for Southampton, so we might need to try and train up somebody like a Romeu, maybe sign someone who's a little bit closer than Romeu to actually make them that regista role. We're looking at training. I know I said I'm not going to go into it, and you're right, I'm not going to go into it. Calendar, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to set it up so the assistant does it all. What I am going to look at, though, is this units stuff. This unit stuff is really useful, I think. Basically, it allows you to go, actually, you know what, Stuart Armstrong, you're now part of the defensive unit. Mario Lemina, you should be part of the attacking unit, because I think you're in the wrong place. Stephen Davis, you can be part of the defensive unit. Stephen Davis, be part of the defensive unit. Things like that. I'm not going to obviously do too much of this at the moment, but I'm just saying that I'm going to be using this to try and actually get involved, because you can do youth players as well. You can go, you know what, Alex Cole, sure, you can be part of the goalkeeping unit for the first team, so he'll train with the first team, as far as I'm aware. Another thing is this mentoring stuff. Mentoring is something that I've always tried to do and keep forgetting to do, so I can now do that and ask the assistant to do it. So what they're going to do is they've set up two little groups. Alex McCarthy and Angus Gunn are going to be looking after Alex Cole. I don't really know why. Mentoring group 2, Shane Long, El Yunusi, Sam Gallagher and James Ward-Prowse will be looking after people. I'm assuming I can stick in like one of the children to be in one of these groups, because I guess that's why Alex Cole's are there, because I put him as part of the units, maybe. Now this is one thing I'm really happy with. This is the new training individual bit. So I normally do individual training for players. Actually, while we're here, Oriol Romeu, here we go. You can see a little bit more how well he's getting on, his tactical familiarity, easier for me to say. So you can see how well he's getting on. We can also go, your role here, buddy. You are now going to be a regista on support. What are you not very good at? Long shots, dribbling, flair, off the ball. Quite a lot of things. Think I probably do need to sign someone slightly more suited for that role. I think I might have found my regista if I don't sign a new one and Oriol Romeu doesn't do the job. Jack Stevens. He can't play there, but his stats here, the ones that are required for a regista, are a lot better. So I think Jack Stevens might be playing as that regista role. The final thing I'm going to show you before I go forward a number of days and actually kind of try and sign some players, go through the pre-season stuff, is my squad team. Now, I've set up my own little display because I like to know these things. I like to know their condition. I like to know if they're happy. I also like to have the little training bit in the middle so I can actually go, what players in my first team have got the highest potential? And we go, right, Mario Lemina. So maybe he should be getting more games to help him out. Obviously, you've got this new thing here, which is the training rating. I'm going to use that quite a lot to actually decide my first team, because if someone's training badly, I don't see why they should be playing first team football. And I'm quite happy to play an 18-year-old right back ahead of Cedric, because Cedric isn't playing very well. And I know from experience, Cedric doesn't play very well, so you might be seeing Jan Valery or Kieran Freeman actually playing games for me because of this training rating. I've also got on the right-hand side the last 5 games, appearance, goals and assists, because it's nice to know how well your team are actually getting on. Right, enough of me waffling. I'm going to go forward now. You'll probably find, let's have a look at the schedule actually. Look at these new fancy little breakdowns, so we can go, I don't care about August, can we? We can't actually hide it. Okay, anyway, I was expecting you could hide the things because of the little arrows. Apparently you can't. I'm probably going to go forward now, all the way through to around this match here, possibly even after it, just before the Manchester United game. Great, I've got Manchester United to open the season with. I'm going to lose probably about 5-0. I'm going to go through to that time anyway. I'm going to go through all the transfers, ins and outs, because there will be both. And then we might actually play the Manchester United game in this episode as well. A bit I forgot to mention, because I'm an idiot. Finances. We actually have a reasonable transfer budget. We don't have a particularly reasonable wage budget. So we've got £33 million to spend, but only, what's that, £140,000 a week worth of manoeuvrability, that's a word, in our wage budget. So I might need to rejig some things. Like I said earlier, I'm probably going to be selling some people. Stephen Davis is on that list of people to sell. Fraser Forster is on that list of people to sell. Probably Nathan Redmond is on that list of people to sell as well. So our transfer budget could possibly go up to around £50 million. I don't have any targets yet of people to bring in. Also, while we're here, speaking of targets of people to bring in, strengths and weaknesses. Strengths, there's a few. Notice there's no scroll bar. Weaknesses, there's a scroll bar. So there's a lot of areas that need some improvement. Cedric is our only right back. We've only got one real left, but we've got 2 left backs. We've got Bertrand and we've got Target. Overall depth is pretty bad. Dribbling is bad. Long range shooting is bad. Off the ball is bad. Communication and goalkeepers is bad. Throwing for goalkeepers is bad. One-on-ones for keepers is bad. Flair is bad. Long throws is bad. Eccentricity is bad. Is that? Oh no, it's, yeah, we're very eccentric. That's not good. Rushing out is bad. Tendency to punch is bad. Acceleration, you get the picture. There's a lot of things that are bad of our team, so we do need to actually try and fix some of these problems, and I don't really know how. Now we're going to go off and we're going to do some transfers, and I'll be back after this fade to black. Welcome back. We are just a couple of days away from our opening game of the Premier League season. We are a couple of days away from the transfer window slamming shut, and a lot of business has taken place, and we are going to start with the outs. Only one player has left permanently, and that is Stephen Davis, the 33-year-old Northern Irish midfielder, has gone. He is signed for Leicester for 5.75 million possibly in total. 4.5 up front, up to 5.75 I think is what it is. So he's gone. Basically, I got rid of him because I thought he's 33, I'm probably not going to play him. Also, Jan Bednarek has gone on loan to Montpellier. Sam Gallagher has gone on loan to League One Sunderland. Jake Vokins has gone on loan to Port Vale down in League 2. And Nathan Teller has gone to Coventry in League 1. The first of 7 players then to join the club is Portuguese midfielder Miguel Veloso. He's 32 years old now. He is somewhat versatile. I basically brought him because he can pass the ball and his mental stats aren't terrible. He was a free transfer, got released from Genoa apparently at the end of last season. I was thinking maybe he's that regista. He can kind of do it. He can also be a deep line playmaker, advanced playmaker. He's got no natural position apart from this deep line playmaker here, which we obviously don't play. But I think he's going to be a useful player. 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. Obviously, he's not going to improve. He is 32. Up next is a player that I've signed because I used him for my Maribor save. It is Luka Zahovic, the Slovenian striker. Only 22 years old. He's only cost £550. £550? £550,000 makes a lot more sense. 2.5 star current ability, 3 star potential. Probably a waste of money, but you know, I wanted to buy somebody who I had from one of my previous saves. Up next is former Barcelona B and Lazio player PATRIC. He is a 25-year-old Spanish right back. I've bought him because Cedric isn't very good and I need to have some better options, so PATRIC has joined. He's come in from Lazio permanent transfer. All of them are permanent transfers for £2.2 million. From Bromby, for a fee potentially raising up to £3 million, it is Simon TIBBLING, the 23-year-old Swedish central midfielder. He's joined, he's got 3-star accountability, 4-star potential, probably won't be getting too much football in the first season. That is assuming I get past the first season. From Bordeaux, we have signed another central midfielder. It is Younessi Sankharé, I think is probably how it's said, or that's how I'm going to say it anyway. Sankharé is a 20-year-old Senegalese central midfielder. He's a box-to-box midfielder, so he is the perfect replacement for an injured Mario Lemina, who seems to keep getting injured at the moment in pre-season friendlies, which is a bit annoying. He's come in for £6 million, currently valued at £12 million, so he's so far looking good for his money. He's not going to get any better than his 3-star current ability, but I think he's a decent enough footballer. It is a return to the South Coast for MICHAIL Antonio, a player who actually won the Checker Trade Trophy with Southampton back in 2010, has returned, and I thought I was playing wingers and I'm not. So, I might be retraining him up to be a right-back. Bear with me. He did play right-back for Southampton quite a lot. He's good at long throws and heading, apparently. I know he's good at long throws. That's kind of what he used to do when he was back at Saints when we were in League One. He's come in for £7.5 million, which is probably way too much money for him. Don't look at his contract. It's ridiculous. And finally, to strengthen up the defence a little bit more, we've signed Willy Orban from Red Bull Leipzig. The Hungarian central defender has come in for £15 million, I think, overall. Yeah, £15 million is what he's going to cost. He's a very good-looking centre-back. He's a no-nonsense centre-back as well, which I like to play two defenders, one as a ball player and one as a no-nonsense. I want a defender who, if you throw him a rock, he'll header it. That's the type of defender that I want, and that's the type of defender that I think and hope Willy Orban is. So that is the transfer business. The window is still open. I'm expecting potentially another player to leave. I don't think I've got any more business on the table for players to join, however. We're going to have to just kind of stick with it. In terms of pre-season friendlies, we started off badly against Bromby. We lost 2-1. We then played Rostov, a 2-1 victory there. Then we went on tour in China, I want to say, and we drew 1-1 with Tianjin. Then we drew with this team as well, which I think also might have been in China. Akashiespor, maybe. Battered Bath. Did get two of our players injured for quite a long time, and then we beat Yifang as well. So we've had a reasonable start to pre-season. It's not been terrible. Strikers haven't been particularly on fire, apart from in the Bath game. I have a bit of a problem here. I need to register my squad, and I might have too many players. Jack Stevens and Matt Targett aren't registered. Also, Nathan Redmond isn't registered. Gabbiadini wasn't registered and got a little bit annoyed. I think I might need to drop Luka Zahovic. I'm sorry. We're probably going to put in... We're going to have to put in Targett, aren't we? Because I need to have two left-backs, and at the moment, I've only got Ryan Bertrand. Jack Stevens is already annoyed because I said I would register him come the next opportunity, and I don't think I'm going to do it. Transfer deadline day is here then, and already I've accepted a couple of loan deals. I'm hoping that somebody comes in for somebody like a Shane Long or something like that, because otherwise Jack Stevens is going to get very annoyed and I might end up losing him. The first and only deal of the transfer deadline day has gone through, and it is Callum Slattery has gone on loan to Luton, which means Jack Stevens is going to be very annoyed with me, isn't he? Okay, what do we do here? What do we do? I mean, I would like to have Redmond in here. If he's not leaving, because no one actually came in for him, and I want Stevens. I need two more players in here, but I can't really... Do I drop Tibbling? Tibbling's probably... But he's alright. No, Tibbling, right. So, I've bought two players and haven't registered them. So, right, Jack Stevens is in for Tibbling. How can I get Redmond in? You know what? Redmond's not in. Redmond isn't in. It's a terrible idea. Tibbling's going to get very annoyed. Shock as Southampton leave out Redmond. Good. Get rid of him. Right, now, hopefully this is a thing we can do, because no one's going to want to pay any of his wages, are they? The Championship window is still open, so maybe I can loan him to a Championship side. I'm looking for peanuts here. There's literally, I want £100,000 a week. Sorry, not a week, a month, if I can get it. There we go. Right, let's see if anybody would like Nathan Redmond on loan. I'm going to move Luka Zahovic to the under-23s. Tibbling as well. Can he play for the under-23s? Let's try it. Oh, he's annoyed. Okay, he's annoyed. Potential issue. Right. So, yeah, okay, what are you saying? Oh. So, he was annoyed, and because I said, hey, Simon, I hear you're annoyed, he went, don't worry about it. Is he still annoyed? Is he still annoyed, or is he... I mean, he's a little bit. Maybe, let's loan list him. Let's loan list him. This is going to annoy him more, isn't it? Let's loan list him. He may not react well. It's only a loan. It's only a loan. You need to be playing first team football, and I can stick... Yes, good. Look, this works. So, he's now loan listed. He might go off to the Championship as well. The first game of the Premier League season then, away against Manchester United at Old Trafford. We could not have asked for a harder game. Well, maybe Man City or Chelsea. But still, Manchester United is going to be a very difficult game. The starting lineup we are going to go for then against Manchester United. In goal as the sweeper keeper will be Angus Gunn. Cedric, Willie Orban, Wesley Hoot and Ryan Bertrand. Why did I put Wesley Hoot in? No, it's Vestergaard. It's always Vestergaard. Vestergaard and Orban will be the two centre-backs. Ryan Bertrand will be the left-back. As the regista will be Oriol Romeu. Box-to-box midfielder will be James Ward-Prowse alongside the Mazzala of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Stuart Armstrong will be just behind Danny Ings and Manolo Gabbiadini. That position there, this Stuart Armstrong position, concerns me because he's the only one who's any good at it. El Yunusi isn't very good at it at all and he's our second best. So let's hope Armstrong does a job there. So it looks like Manchester United have signed at least one player, and that'll be Camacho as that, maybe, regista. I don't quite know. They're playing a defence midfielder. So De Gea, Young, Smalling, Eric Bailly, Luke Shaw, Camacho, Herrera, Pogba, Sanchez, Mata and Romelu Lukaku. So, I've got a little secret to tell you. In one of my previous saves, I opened up a match against Manchester United, and we were 5-0 down at half-time, so this could be fun. To be honest, the best thing we can hope for here is a draw. I think if we come away from Old Trafford with anything, I will be very surprised. I need to change some of the speeds up on this. Free kick for Manchester United. Ashley Young crosses in. Lukaku over the bar. That is way too fast. Let's slow that down a little bit. And then maybe I might be able to commentate on it properly. 25 minutes in, it's been a very one-sided but very uneventful game so far. I'm going to encourage the team. Corner for Young. Lukaku's there. It's on Lukaku's head, but former Manchester City goalkeeper Angus Gunn claims it. Mata with a throw on. 31 minutes now. And Herrera back to Mata. Controls it. What's he going to do? Plays it across to Camacho. Chest down. Paul Pogba, edge of the area. Across to Herrera. Lukaku's there. Smashes it into the top corner. We're 1-0 down, and it's not really a surprise. We've not even had a shot yet. As we approach half-time, it is going to be 1-0 to Manchester United, and we've had all of the possession, but no shots at all. Are we just getting held up in midfield? Is that what's going on there? So they're saying Cedric has both won and lost possession more than any other player on the team. That's kind of a blessing and a curse. Not enough touches the ball in the penalty area. I don't think we're getting it into the penalty area. Mark Bowen, tell the team that their performance was disappointing. Okay, Mark, I will do that. We've been the better team here. Show me something else. That should do it. Right, do I do any changes? Armstrong. It's going to be Armstrong, isn't it? Armstrong for El Yunusi. Do I change El Yunusi? No, El Yunusi can stay as that attacking midfielder. Oh dear. Well, this is going to be a long old season if it's going to be like this. First highlight of the second half, and it's starting with us with the ball. Romeu to Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse needs someone to make a run. Ings, Cedric on the right. Bit of space. What is he going to do? Get tackled by Luke Shaw. And now the counter-attack for Manchester United probably is going to end in a goal because they always seem to do so far in my experience. Sanchez crosses in. It's a shocking cross, but Ashley Young is going to get the ball first. Crosses in again. Lukaku's there on the head, and Romelu Lukaku's put it in the back of the net, but he was offside apparently, even though I think he was like way back. I think that's a bit harsh. I'd be annoyed if that was me. Bertrand with a throw on for us. Headed back by Romeu. Bertrand again crosses in. Gabbiadini doesn't get there. Hits one of our players. And now the counter-attack for Manchester United is on again. This always happens. This has happened to me countless times already. And I've basically played about half a season. And every single time I see a highlight, something stupid like that happens. Counter-attack. Goal for the opposite team. And Herrera with a ball in the middle plays it back to Eric Bailly. Across to Luke Shaw. Are we going to actually do anything? We're only like 2 minutes into the second half. Shaw gets the ball back, crosses in, goalkeeper doesn't go for it. Mata stoops with a weird header, hits it over the bar though. Highlights straight away, Gabbiadini runs forward and Herrera's going to get himself sent off. This isn't going to make our lives easier, but it should do. They've just brought on Adrian Silva. So they've done a decent swap. Ward-Prowse with a free kick, hits the top of the bar. We've actually had a shot. It's taken how many minutes? 53 minutes, and we finally had a shot. Right, I need to change something up. I'm going to change it to this, the Gegenpress, whatever one it is. Don't know whether it's going to make a difference. Thinking Danny Ings should probably come off for Charlie Austin. Swap you two over. Bam. We've got a corner. Ward-Prowse to take it towards the penalty spot. Vestergaard's there, headed down to Højbjerg, and Højbjerg's effort is wide off the post. We've actually had 3 shots now. Where have they come from? None on target, but we've had the shots. Final 15 minutes. I'm going to try and shout at the team if the menu doesn't disappear. We're in the final 8 minutes now. I've demanded more. The team are slightly focused. We're playing okay. What's happened? We're going to lose, but we're playing okay. Eric Bailly with a free kick to Luke Shaw. Back to Bailly. Back to Shaw. In the middle, Paul Pogba for United. Camacho, we need to get the ball off them, or this is possibly going to be a United goal. Romeu intercepts it. Gabbiadini, he's got 2 players with him, tries to play it forward to Elyounoussi. It was a shocking pass. De Gea clears the ball for Manchester United. Cedric gets it though. Runs down the right-hand side, cuts inside. Elyounoussi, Ward-Prowse, all the way across to Ryan Bertrand. Bit of space for the left-back. Crosses in. Gabbiadini's there, and it's a great save from David De Gea. That was our best chance of the game. Since we've changed up, we've been a lot better. So, maybe we try the El Gegenpress one as a start in the game, rather than finishing the game. Romeu with the ball. Ward-Prowse across. Ryan Bertrand, he's got 2 in the box. If he can cross it in, Charlie Austin is one of them. Charlie Austin is there, and Charlie Austin has equalised against Manchester United in the 91st minute. Right, I need to very defensive, play very defensive, concentrate. That's what I want you to do now, lads. Do not concede. Let's take a point from United. 14, we've had more shots than they have now. Ashley Young's free kick, we're over the 93 that we were allocated. Gabbiadini to Charlie Austin. Are we going to actually get something from this final highlight? Plays it back to Vestergaard. Vestergaard to Bertrand. I'm hoping the referee is just going to blow the whistle while the ball is being passed around in the middle. Cedric on the right-hand side. The full-time whistle goes, and we have stolen a point from Manchester United, and I'm very surprised. Very, very surprised by that. So, after one game then, we are 10th. We are 10th place in the table. One thing I didn't check is the season preview. They expect us to finish 10th. I don't think that's going to happen somehow. Not a chance. I think realistically, if we even get to the end of the season, we're going to be maybe 14th. So I'd say swap us and Burnley over. That's probably more realistic. That is going to do it then for the first episode. Next episode, we're going to go Wolves and Brighton. So I'm going to play these 4 games. I'm hoping that they're going to be victories. Or actually, no, you know what? Next episode will be Tottenham West Ham. And then it'll be Wolves-Brighton. I was going to do Huddersfield-Wolves, but then I realised there's a 15-day gap in the middle. We're going to do Tottenham, we're going to do West Ham, so you're going to see the first 3 games of the season as live comms. Hopefully, we can keep our half-decent start. It's one game, but hopefully we can keep our half-decent start going and maybe pick up a victory. I think if we're going to do it, it's West Ham, isn't it? That's going to be the team we're going to beat. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2019 with Southampton in the beta. It is literally the day after the beta got released for me, so everything is still very new, even if people have worked out, here's the cheat tactic. I don't know. It's not been released yet to me. So, see me tomorrow, see you tomorrow, see everyone tomorrow, maybe, for Tottenham and West Ham, and hopefully 3 points, 4 points, 6 points, or no points. It's probably no points. Hopefully we can do alright.